Live on YouTube, live on Rumble. Good afternoon and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. I'm Xander. You are you. We will be joined by the Loon here shortly. And today is Tears' Day, aka Tuesday, March 31st, 2026, the end of March. And tomorrow is April 1st, also known as
April Fools.
Yeah, I always dislike that, you know, like
wonky deal.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll talk more about that tomorrow. As for today, this show is about interesting and important events that happened today throughout the annals of recorded history, starting with the year 307. After divorcing his wife Minervina, Constantine married Fausta, daughter of the retired Roman Emperor Maximinian. All right. 1146, Bernard of Clairvaux preached his famous sermon in a field at Vézelay, urging the necessity of a second crusade. Louis VII and Eleanor of Aquitaine were present and joined the crusade. All right, we have here, I believe this is an image of that. I hope that's a painting and not an AI thing. It looks like a painting.
Yeah, it does.
So, yeah. What else do we got here? 1174, a conspiracy against Saladin, aiming to restore the Fatimid Caliphate, was revealed in Cairo, involving senior figure of the former Fatimid regime and the poet of Omara al-Yamandi. Modern historians doubt the extent and danger of the conspiracy reported in official sources, but its ringleaders will be publicly executed over the following weeks. So they figured out the descents and everything, and let me get this out of your way. That's what I was reaching for. 1272, Pope Gregory X called for a general church council to discuss reunion of churches, crusade to the Holy Land, and a church reform. A lot of Christian stuff happening, and we have a 34-page article document today. So and a lot of them are marked. Actually, we have a lot of stuff to go over today here. 1495, Pope Alexander VI formed the anti-French allegiance of the League of Venice with Archduke of Austria Maximilian I, Ferdinand II of Aragon, Duke of Milan, Ludovico Sforza, and the Republic of Venice. 1504, France and Spain signed a truce. Okay, like after all of these paragraph articles, then we just have this. Over what war? You know, I just want to know. 1521, the first Mass was held in the Philippines, generally believed to be on the island of Limasawa in the archipelago of St. Lazarus by Ferdinand Magellan and 50 of his men. They took possession of the island on the same day. Gee, how Christian. It's telling me to image search this, actually, so I'm going to do that. Let's see here. Copy, actually, I think right there. That's what I copied earlier. So let's check this out. What is the other? Okay, we'll get to there. Images, first Mass. Oh, here we go. According to the... actually, I think this was... Well, these are all PowerPoint things. Here we go. According to the Pigafetta, the first Mass celebrated on Philippine soil was held on March 31st, 1521 on the island of Mazawa, which its original name. Okay? In is island... It is island municipality of Southern Lorette and was created into an independent municipality on June 11th, 1978 by virtue of President Decree number 1549, but this was not implemented due to some problems. Officially became a municipality on August 27th, 1989 after the conduct of a plebiscite among the populace to ratify its independence. Francisco Alba, one of the pilots in Magellan's campaign, kept a logbook where he wrote that they erected a cross on a mountain that overlooked the islands in the west and the southwest. Jaime de Vera stated that the first Mass was held in Limasawa and not in Bhutan. All right, that's a lot of stuff that was there.
Wow.
Yeah. 1651, great earthquake at Cuzco, Peru. We don't know, they didn't have magnitude stuff back then and all that stuff. 1657, English Parliament presented the humble petition and advice to Lord Protector Oliver Cromwell, offering him the crown, but he declined. And this is the guy that they call the Great Pretender and everything, and he started an entire English Civil War to get the crown. So I'm not sure if this is before or after or what, but I thought he lost that war ultimately, and he was driven back to Paris. I'm not sure. I don't know that much about Oliver Cromwell. 1683, Holy Roman Emperor Leopold I and King John III Sobieski of Poland signed a covenant against Turkey, becoming the Holy League. Yeah. 1706, the last session of history of the Catalan courts. The Parliament of the Principality of Catalonia ended. Catalonia's constitutional modernization passed by the courts aimed to improve the guarantee of individual political and economic rights, such as the security of correspondence. So if you want to send a letter to somebody, government is by law not allowed to go through it and all that stuff. So 1717 in the year, a sermon on the nature of the kingdom of Christ by Benjamin Holliday, the Bishop of Bangor, provoked the Bangorian controversy. Preached in the presence of King George I of Great Britain. So the king was there too, it seemed. 1736, Bellevue Hospital was founded in a New York City almshouse, the first public hospital in New York. So this is a painting of that. Yeah. Well, the first, public hospital. 1745, Jews were expelled from Prague. In 1761, the Lisbon earthquake struck off the Iberian Peninsula with an estimated magnitude of 8.5. 6 years after, another earthquake destroyed the city. So just 6 years later, they get hit again.
Jeez.
1774, during the American Revolutionary War, hey, that rhymed. The Kingdom of Great Britain ordered the port of Boston, Massachusetts, closed pursuant to the Boston Port Act. Mm-hmm. So that was after the...
Is that the Tea Party or no?
Yeah, that was after the Tea Party. They clamped down on Boston hard after that. 1808, the French created the Kingdom of Westphalia, ordering Jews to adopt family names. 1814 as well, forces allied against Napoleon captured Paris. The Sixth Coalition occupied Paris after Napoleon's Grand Armée capitulated. 1822, massacre of the population of the Greek island of Chios by soldiers of the Ottoman Empire following a rebellion attempt, later depicted by Auguste Eugene Delacroix. 1831, Mainzer Reedersvet Convention ends. What was it? Let's look this up here. 1831, the Mainzer Convention. And I'm not entirely sure. I think I might have skipped over something earlier, but let's see here. The Mainz Convention. Mainzer. 1831. Okay, well, this sounds like the same thing here. Let's see. It also established the Central Commission of the Rhine. The first treaty was simplified and revised in the Mannheim Convention of 1868, which, with the extension of 1918, of all privileges to ships of all countries and not merely the... So this is the whole thing. So I'm going to put this into the underbar section. So see here, put that there, and Mainzer Regiment Conventions. Put that there, and then hyphen. All right. What else we got here? 1831, Quebec and Montreal were incorporated. All right. So some Canadian states for you there, Loon. 1841, the first performance of Robert Schumann's Symphony No. 1 in B-flat major. Sounded interesting. 1849, Colonel John W. Geary arrived as first postmaster of San Francisco. Cool. The U.S. population hit 23,191,876, with the black being 15.7% of that, 3,638,808 in 1850. 1854, Treaty of Kanagawa, Commodore Perry forces Japan to open port to U.S. So he forces Japan to open all of their ports. Oh, okay. So Commodore Matthew Perry signed the Convention of Kanagawa with the Tokugawa shogunate, opening the ports of Shimoda and Hakodate to American trade. So we're forcing them to modernize everything. 1861, Confederacy took over amid at New Orleans in the U.S. Civil War, New Orleans there. 1862, Civil War action at Island No. 10 on Mississippi River. That's an interesting thing. Are you tired? Like, do you want to go downstairs, take a nap or something?
No, I am tired, but
okay. All right. Because you're constantly yawning in my ear, so it's just kind of a little distracting. We'd like to go downstairs and take a nap or something.
No, I'm good.
Okay, you're gonna be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see here. 1865, General Pickett moved to Five Forks, abandoning the defense of Petersburg. So he moved to fortify Five Forks in Dinwiddie County. What a name! I wonder if it's still a county in Virginia. What county do you live in? I'm a Dimwitty. 1866, the Spanish Navy bombarded the harbor of Valparaiso, Chile. Why? 1868, Chinese embassy arrived aboard steamship China. And 2 years after that, Thomas Mundy Peterson of Perth Amboy, New Jersey, was the first black Canadian to vote in the U.S. under the provisions of the 15th Amendment to the Constitution in a local election of the town's charter. Nice. So the first black to vote. Epic. 1870.
Kind of important.
Yeah. 1877, Test cricket debut of feared Australian fast bowler Fred the Demon Spofforth. Australia lost the second Test by 4 wickets to England at the Melbourne Cricket Ground.
I do like his nickname, Fred the Demon, though.
Yeah, Fred the Demon Spofforth. That's him right there. With that haircut, he kind of looks like a little bit of a demon. Like the devil's hairstyle right there with the mustache. All he needs is a little goatee, and he would be absolutely evil looking. 1877 as well, the family was samurai antecedents who responded to the Saigo army in Oita Nagasu rebelled. What is an antecedent? It's like ancestor or something, but in a weird word. A thing that existed before logically precedes another. Okay, so I guess these are like the people before people who would become samurai, if that makes any sense.
I'm not sure.
Like if your descendants would become samurai, or whatever. What's the like I'm your descendant, but I mean you're my ancestor. Okay, so like ancestor descendant. It's a combination of the two words, if I'm making any sense.
Okay.
Like ancestor and then descendant. I don't know. Anyway, what else do we got here? 1880, the first town to claim to be completely illuminated by electric lighting was Wabash, Indiana.
Oh, wow.
All right, good old Wabash. And here we go. Here's a picture of that with a electrical anode or something like that. Let's see, other images. Oops, hold on a second. Didn't want to do that. Hold up a second. Let me start a new search. There we go. All right. Here we go. So this says it's a very small sign. Is there a sign here that I can actually read? No? Okay. Well, it's the first city at least claiming to be electric light. Yeah. This just says plaque outside Wabash Courthouse or whatever. Open image in your tab. Can I get a decent image here? Officials of Wabash began experimenting with Charles F. Bush's carbon arc lights. 4 or 5,000 candle power lamps were placed atop the courthouse and used to illuminate the town until September of 1888. So yeah, before watts and electrodes and all that stuff, they measured them in candle power. How many candles?
Yeah.
Like how many horses to horsepower? Which actually, like a horsepower is less than a horse or something. Like it's not equal to a horse. It's weird. Like I don't know.
I don't know what the ratio is, but
not all horses are created equal. So like, what is a horsepower?
Yeah.
1883, Utrecht, Belgium began a water pipe system. Cool. 1885, Great Britain declared Buchananland a protectorate. All right. 1889, the Eiffel Tower officially opened for dignitaries at an award ceremony in Paris, France. Designed by Gustave Eiffel and built for the Exposition Universelle at 300 meters high, it held the record for the tallest man-made structure for 41 years.
Whoa.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
1899, Philippine-American War, Malolos, capital of the First Philippine Republic, was captured by U.S. forces. Yeah, that's usually how it goes with us. Although the past 40, 50 years, we haven't really been as good warriors as we usually have been. After we dominated, World War I, World War II, but then Korea happened, and we pushed. We lost Vietnam. Like, I guess Iraq and then Iraq again was fine, but Afghanistan absolutely was not. And now we're in Iran, and who knows how that's going to end. 1903, Richard Pierce flew a monoplane, a one set of wings, several hundred yards in New Zealand. And here's an actual photo of that. That's cool.
Oh, look at that.
A monoplane. Look at that. 1903. It's around the time of the Wright brothers. But they had like a biplane or a triplane or something. 1905, Emperor Wilhelm II of Germany visited Tangier, Morocco, and proclaimed Germany's support of Moroccan independence and equal opportunity for all powers to trade there, beginning the first Moroccan crisis. Oh, great. Europe just needs to butt out of other countries, affairs. 1906, Intercollegiate Athletic Association of the United States was founded to set rules in amateur sports, becoming the National Collegiate Athletic Association of the NCAA in 1910. So 4 years later. That's awesome. 1909, in a diplomatic note to Austria, Serbia recognized the Bosnian annexation and promised to maintain friendly relations with Austria. So Serbia formally withdrew its opposition to Austro-Hungarian actions in the Bosnian crisis. I wonder what made them do a 180 with that. It's a little interesting. So, do we have any comments in YouTube or Rumble? Nope, not yet. 1909, National Baseball Commission ruled players who jump contracts to be suspended for 5 years. Players joining outlaw organizations suspended for 3 years. Well, that kind of seems like it can be messed with there. 1913, the Vienna Concert Society rioted during a performance of modernist music by Arnold Schoenberg, Alban Berg, Alexander von Zemlinsky, and Anton von Webern, causing a premature end to the concert due to violence. This concert became known as the Scandal Concert.
Scandal. Oh.
Scandal Concert. Yes. So, and I did miss something, so I'm gonna make a note here. 1913. So I want to go up really quick because something really horrible happened a while ago, and I don't know. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's why I missed it. I didn't read the rest of it. So I want to go back to 1492 really quick. Queen Isabella of Castile issued the Alhambra decree ordering her 150,000 Jewish and Muslim subjects to convert to Christianity or face expulsion. And it says Ferdinand II of Aragon and Isabella I of Castile signed the Edict of Expulsion of the Jews from Spain, ordering all Jews in their kingdoms to either convert to Christianity or leave the country. Secondary sources was edited, so for whatever reason they took out the Muslim part. I don't know why. Yeah, because and I wanted to go back to that because remember a few weeks ago we spoke about the first Jew born in Spain in 400 years since the expulsion.
I don't remember.
It was a while ago. It's been probably a month or so, but I believe that was the expulsion. That was Spain,
okay.
And that's about 400 years ago. So anyway, let's get back. What was it? 1913. Yeah. So let's see here. 1913. The Vienna, we got that one, and I actually have a picture for that. So we have here. It's kind of small. We have the performers up here, and then everybody else is a mosh pit. So. 1916, the Dutch government ended all military engagements. Not during World War I, or it has to be.
Has to be, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's right there. 1917, the Danish West Indies were officially ceded to the U.S. for $25 million and renamed the Virgin Islands.
Oh, what was the name before?
The Danish West Indies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. 1918, the first daylight savings time in the U.S. went into effect. For the first time, 1918 as well, a massacre of ethnic Azerbaijanis was committed by allied armed groups of the Armenian Revolutionary Federation and the Bolsheviks. Nearly 12,000 Azerbaijani Muslims were killed. Yikes. 1920, British Parliament accepted the Government of Ireland Act, known as the Fourth Home Rule Bill. 1 year after that, British coal miners went on strike. Why? For wages, hours, and for how long was the strike? Anybody watching, if you want to look into that, tell us anything that you think that you find, become part of the show. Say something in the comments section. 1923, the first dance marathon in New York City. Alma Cummings set record of 27 hours with 6 different partners. Wow, that's quite a feat of stamina there. 1923, occupying French soldiers fired on workers when surrounded at Krupp Auto Factory in Essen, Germany. 6 died and dozens were wounded. Yeah. Okay, well, that's weird. So this was in Germany, and this was after World War I. So, the war was over. But why were they getting surrounded? Were they German loyalists who were coming to kill them? I want to know more about this
too
incident.
early for Hitler.
Way too early.
Yeah.
No, I think it's just animosity against occupying,
Well,
forces.
I'm talking about...
No, it wouldn't have. Hitler had the Nazis had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, no, they were forming the party.
In early 1920s, yeah.
Yeah, so, that's what I'm getting at, not the actual Nazi movement
Yeah.
and all that.
No, I don't think that has anything to do with Hitler or any of that. I think it was just, pissed off Germans at the occupying French forces. I don't know. Anyway, 1924, London public transport strike ended. Why was there a strike? So, 1 century ago, 1926, German Special Court of Justice for State Security disbanded. And then 4 years after that, 1930, the Motion Pictures Production Code was instituted, imposing strict guidelines on the treatment of sex, crime, religion, and violence in film for the next 38 years. All right. 1931, brilliant Notre Dame football coach Lut Rocaine, at the age of 43, was killed with 7 others when light plane crashes on a trip from Kansas City to Los Angeles. Record 105 to 12 to 5 at .881 remains best ever. Wow. That's
Oh, I didn't
awful.
realize he died in a plane crash.
Yeah. 31, an earthquake in Nicaragua destroyed Maguela, killing 2,000 people. I wonder what magnitude it was. 32, 150 wild swans died in Niagara Falls. Why? What happened?
That's all it says?
Yeah. Like right here. 150 wild swans died in Niagara Falls. Why?
Huh.
I mean, we're making good time, so I'm going to do a surface level scratch on this article really quick. Ice sweeps 150... Oh, I guess they landed and their feet got frozen to the ice or something. Like,
something ice related anyway.
yeah, so this is 1932, so this is the right one. So here we go. Oh, goodness. Let's see here. Wild swans, perhaps 150 to 200 of them, caught on an ice floe, were swept over the Horseshoe Falls last night and were crushed to death or maimed at the upper edge of the ice bridge in the gorge. The birds, members of a flock of 500, had settled in the upper river yesterday. Strong upstream wind prevented their being carried toward the brink then, but the wind blowed down last night and the swans were carried in the currents over the cataract. So that sounds awful. I'm going to add this in the underbar sections. Let's see here. 150 swans. So, what else do we got here? Moving on up to 1932, Ford publicly unveiled its V8 engine, and here we go, right there.
The notorious V8.
Yep. And now we have like a V16 and all that crap. So
before that, it was a straight 6, I believe.
No, and like you know, I have tomato juice or like I have vegetable juice downstairs. Even though tomatoes are a fruit, not a vegetable, they're the primary ingredient. And I could have had a V8, you know? Just trying to make a joke. 33.
I knew where you're going immediately.
1932, Soperton News published the first newspaper on pine pulp paper in Soperton, Georgia. Okay.
Pine pulp.
Yeah. 33, the U.S. Congress authorized Civilian Conservation Corps. It was established with the mission of relieving rampant unemployment in the United States. Gee, how well is that going? You know, if you ever want a problem to be solved, get government out of it.
Yeah.
You know? 39, The Hound of Bakersville, the first of the 14 films starring Basil Rathbone as Sherlock Holmes and Nigel Bruce as Dr. Watson, was released. And, no, not there. 1939 as well, Britain and France agreed to support Poland if it was invaded by Germany. Plot twist, they didn't. Yeah, so Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain, and that's probably why, pledged British military support to the Second Polish Republic in the event of an invasion by Nazi Germany. I guess he weaseled his way out of it because the Soviets were invading from the other side. So they're just like, oh, well, we don't want to fight both of them.
Because they were invaded by Germany.
But they were later invaded by Russia. Like Hitler and Stalin did a secret pact where they partitioned it beforehand.
Yeah.
Like so, you know, Hitler got this half and Russia got their other. 1940, Carlo-Finnish SSR became the 12th Soviet Republic until 1956, so it was only that for 16 years. That's actually kind of short when you think about it. It lasted only until 56. Unless it got eaten by another part of it. Because a Carlo-Finnish SSR, you know, that doesn't sound like any country. So I think they got absorbed by something. 1941, ground was broken for Union Square Garage in San Francisco. 42, World War II, Japanese forces invaded Christmas Island, which was then a British possession. Ooh, here we go. So yeah, so now the Britain and Japan have a direct, face-to-face controversy. Yeah. 43, a U.S. errantly bombs Rotterdam, killing 326 people. 1 year after that, Hungary ordered all Jews to wear yellow stars. Yeah, the famous yellow Star of David thing.
Yeah.
So, I'm still shocked and appalled that our society in modern times tried to pass a law mandating unvaccinated people from wearing an armband or something. It's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, hello?
Yeah.
1945, murdered 10 political prisoners in Zutphen. You pronounce it. Yeah, exactly. See, at least I tried. So, I'm going to send this to...
Did you? You called that try?
Do you try it then?
No.
Oh, exactly. So, 1945, actually, no, that was not marked. 1945 as well, U.S. artillery landed on Kiseshima and began firing on Okinawa. We also have a defecting German pilot delivered a Messerschmitt Me-262A1, the world's first operational jet-powered fighter aircraft, to the U.S. Army Air Force, I guess. The first to fall into Allied hands. We covered this yesterday, and I went off on a whole tangent about, like, that fighter jet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. A German defector literally just dropped it in their laps.
Yeah.
And hey, Loons time, 1946. And for the first time in 2 days, it's not about cricket. Belgian government of Spaak resigned, shortest ever Belgian government. And then we have the Belgian government of Acker forms. Okay, so they have to be connected. It's both Belgian government.
Yeah.
46 as well, the first election was held in Greece after World War II. Cool. 48, U.S. Congress passed the Marshall Aid Act to rehabilitate war-torn Europe. Yep. 49, Newfoundland became Canada's 10th province. They joined the Canadian Confederation. Or
They
the
have funny
dominant...
money there.
What?
They have funny little money there.
Oh, yes. Yes, they do. Oh, it's telling me to image search this, so I'm going to do that. Oh, we're not there yet. So that's Astropithecus africanus or something, whatever it's called. But yeah, here we go. This is what I want to read. Oh yeah, so history of Newfoundland. In the year 1000, a Viking called Leif Erikson discovered Newfoundland. 1497, Giovanni Caboto discovered Newfoundland as the first European man. Somebody has to fix their spacing here. 1583, Queen Elizabeth I proclaimed dominion over Newfoundland. 1662, France constituted a governor there. 1713, Peace of Utrecht. 1763, Peace of Paris. 1824, Newfoundland became a British colony. 1855, it also became a British domination with a parliament, or dominion with a parliament. 27, Newfoundland was heightened. In 39 to 45, the USA built military bases in Newfoundland. And then March 31st, 1949, Newfoundland became the 10th province of Canada. So that's a brief history of Newfoundland. 1949, RCA Victor of Camden, New Jersey, introduced a 45 RPM record player in the 7-inch single vinyl disc, more durable than the 78 RPM shellac. Initial records included Eddie Arnold's Texarkana Baby, Spade Cooley's Finnish Fandango, Arthur Crudup's After Hours, and Saul Meisel's A Klein Malamed.
Spade Cooley, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So 49 was the beginning of the 45.
Appears to be.
How about that?
Yeah, just 4 years late. 49 is the beginning of 45. So 49 as well, William Grunt Still's opera Troubled Island with libretto by Langston Hughes and Verna Arvey premiered at the New York City Opera, first grand opera composed by a black stadium produced by a major company. Cool. 51, U.S. tanks exceeded 38 degrees of latitude in Korea, so I believe that's as far as we pushed up there. We also have Remington Rand delivered the first UNIVAC 1 to computer to the United States Census Bureau. 53 as well, U.S. Department of Health, Education, and Welfare was established. No, we need to afuela all that. 1 year later, USSR offered to join NATO. Dude, NATO's...
Wow.
Like, that's weird.
Very weird.
Like, NATO is literally... Its whole point to exist is to be opposed to the USSR. Like, they're offering to fold? Like, what?
Yeah, that's really weird. That's strikingly weird.
Yeah, I know, right?
And they don't say another word.
No.
No description, nothing.
You know what? I'm going to look this up on a surface level scratch. We're not even a half hour in, so we're good. We have a decent amount of time, but I'm not going to start dragging my feet. Molotov's proposal that the USSR joins NATO. Let's see here. Diamond translation, yeah. Molotov's collective security proposal was rejected by Western representatives on 2 grounds. Firstly, because the United States was excluded from the proposal treaty and regulated, together with Communist China, to observer status. Oh, so they wanted to not just join, but get power. Oh, you slippery Soviet bastards. So, USSR/NATO. So, let me put that in there. Keep your eye out for that, for all these links in the Underbar section. They will be there after the live stream. What else do we got here? 1955, merger of Chase National Bank, the third largest bank, and the Bank of the Manhattan Company, the 15th largest bank, formed Chase Manhattan.
I wonder, just to back up for 1 second with NATO, I wonder if that's when the Warsaw Pact was developed in. If they developed that to counter NATO.
You know, well, no, NATO was developed to counter the Warsaw Pact, wasn't it?
No. So you think the Warsaw Pact was first?
Yes.
Okay, well, you know more than I do.
Well, no, maybe like, saying here, it was a collective defense treaty signed in Warsaw, Poland, between the Soviet Union and 7 other Eastern Bloc socialist republics in Central and Eastern Europe in May of 1955 during the Cold War. So that's after this.
Yeah, so probably they tried to get into the NATO, so they started their own deal.
So why do we have NATO?
Well, that's the whole. We have NATO for protection.
From who? Like, Warsaw wasn't there. Who are we protecting? Like,
well, from the Russians, from the All East that was divided up. And
I always thought NATO was a reaction to the Warsaw Pact, but NATO came first.
No.
This entire time I've been saying NATO needs to be dissolved based on the grounds that it was...
Warsaw Pact did dissolve.
Yeah.
And we made a lot of agreements that we wouldn't go...
My entire belief just got shaken.
From NATO further east or anything like that.
I don't think you really understand. My entire basis was a lie.
Basis of what?
My belief in why NATO existed. I thought it was after the Warsaw Pact. No. As a reaction to it, this entire time, for all these years, I've been saying NATO needed to be dissolved because its primary reason to exist, the Warsaw Pact, is no longer gone. I thought it was developed after the Warsaw Pact.
No, NATO was because of the divide from the East, European East, which was Russia.
Wow.
And
a huge section of my belief just got changed.
Everybody was concerned, well, what if Russia starts attacking someone? They formed NATO. One country, if you attack one NATO country, you attack all.
Yeah.
So that's the protection against Russia and the whole Eastern Bloc.
Wow.
And I think now that I see this, they want to get in and unify the whole thing with power. So they said, screw you, we'll start our own deal. We call it Warsaw Pact. Signed.
Well, that's what it is called. It was signed in Warsaw, Poland.
Yeah.
So, anyway, 1958, U.S. Navy formed the Atomic Submarine Division. We also have USSR suspended nuclear weapons tests and urged U.S. and Britain to do the same. So it sounds like good guy Russia. You know?
Well, it sure sounds like that, but they cheated like hell, too.
Very true. I want to watch that Reagan movie again. The one
should.
about him, not the one he stars in. Like, do you have any idea how hard it is to find that movie online?
Which one?
The Reagan movie.
The more current one we just saw?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I just search up Reagan movie scene, it shows me scenes in which he was in movies, not the one about him. It's like, no, different Reagan movie. 1958.
All kinds of weird movies.
Yeah. 1958, in the Canadian federal election, the Progressive Conservatives, led by John Diefenbaker, won the largest percentage of seats in Canadian history with 208 seats out of 265. Wow. That's impressive. 59, the 14th Dalai Lama crossed the border into India and was granted political asylum. We covered his fleeing yesterday. So, 1960, the First Nations people granted the right to vote in Canada without giving up their Indian status and repeal of part of Canada Elections Act. All right, so good. They get to have a say in the government that owns them now. 1961, Aklilu Habitewald became the first premier of Ethiopia. Sometimes I try with names, and I might as well not even try.
You do pretty well with them overall.
Well, I'm going to try this one again. Saishir Heidi. I don't fucking know. 1963, LA ended streetcar service after 90 years. That's wild. Why would they do that?
Well, I think it was just downtown. Although it may have gone out to Long Beach, as I recall.
A lot of people can really use some public transit, that's for sure. 64, Brazilian General Olimpio Muraro Filho ordered his troops to move towards Rio de Janeiro, beginning the coup d'etat in 21 years of military dictatorship. 66, 25,000 anti-war demonstrators marched in New York City. It has to be about Vietnam.
Yeah.
66 as well, the USSR launched Luna 10, the first lunar orbiter. Lunar being moon, so it's going to orbit the moon. Later becomes the first space probe to enter orbit around the moon, as I said. 1967, Jimi Hendrix first burned his guitar and his fingers at Finsbury Park Astoria Theatre in London. The guitar was sold at auction for nearly $500,000. The building is currently a church. What? The building is currently a church. What an interesting and unusual thing to add, but I am thankful for it. So, 68, Seattle's AL club was named the Pilots. Are they still around?
Whose club? What?
The Seattle.
Seattle.
AL, American League, I guess. Pilots.
No.
So I guess it didn't take off.
Seattle doesn't even have a baseball team.
Well, there you go. They crashed and burned. U.S. President Lyndon B. Johnson announced in an address to the nation that he will not seek re-election. He spoke to the nation of, quote, steps to limit the war in Vietnam, end quote, in a television address. I find that so interesting. Okay, let me repeat that. 1968, U.S. President Lyndon B. Johnson spoke to the nation of steps to limit the war in Vietnam in a television address. At the conclusion of his speech, he announced, quote, I shall not seek and I will not accept the nomination of my party for another term as your president, end quote. And then, in that very same breath, he authorized a troop surge in Vietnam, bringing the total number of U.S. soldiers to a peak of 549,500. Didn't you just say pulling out? You fucking hypocrite. Lyndon Johnson,
Yeah, I remember that speech.
Shriveled ash raisin-looking motherfucker. 1969, George Harrison and Patty Boyd were fined 250 pounds each for possession of illegal drugs.
They got busted a number of times.
Yeah.
The different Beatles.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't difficult. They're obviously doing something. You just gotta wait for them to fuck up somewhere. But man, I want to go back to this Johnson thing. Could you imagine? Steps to limit the war in Vietnam and then authorizes a troop surge. What the hell?
Well, that's the way he's going to limit it, because he's going to go in with more troops and push them back, and
Yeah,
right.
How'd that work?
And then we'll finish it.
Yeah.
And then it'll be done. No.
What did I say earlier? If you want something to actually get done, get government out of it.
Yeah.
1969, New York Times reviewed Slaughterhouse-Five by Kurt Vonnegut on his publication, saying, quote, you'll either love it or push it back into the science fiction corner, end quote. 1970, Explorer 1 re-entered the Earth's atmosphere after 12 years in orbit. That's a long time in orbit. Federal bankruptcy court allowed Seattle pilots to be sold to Milwaukee.
Oh, well, there you go.
Oh, well, hey, they just flew away. Never mind. So there we go. That's kind of weird, though. It's on the same calendar date. It's the anniversary.
Yeah.
Where they got their name or whatever.
I don't even remember the pilots up there.
Huh. 1970 as well, following an Orange Order parade, intense riots erupted in the Springfield Road in Belfast. Violence lasted for 3 days, and the British Army used CS gas for the first time in large quantities. CS gas. What is that? Let me look that up here really quick. Do you have a clue? CS gas?
No.
Chemical irritation tear gas. Oh, compound. Oh my goodness. Chlorobenzal malonitrile. Okay. So, cyanic carbon. Okay, so CS, whatever that is. CS gas. 1971, South African national debt hit 5.45 billion. What? South Africa dollars or U.S. dollars or like 5.45 billion what?
Yeah.
That's still a high number, but I want to know specifically of what.
Yeah, it makes a big difference.
71, William Colley. I mean, like if it's friggin' Zimbabwe dollars, then it's nothing.
Yeah.
So, William Cayley was sentenced to life for the My Lai massacre. We covered that yesterday. The final day of the rum ration in the Royal Canadian Navy. 72, and then we also have official Beatles fan club closed down. Wow, they didn't last long. 1973, Boston Bruins defenseman Bobby Orr scored his third career hat trick in the 7-3 loss at Toronto to become the first player in NHL history to score 100 points for 4 straight seasons.
So he's the only one on his team to score.
Apparently.
The hat trick is 3 goals, and they lost 7-3.
So yeah, I guess so. 1973 as well, Muhammad Ali suffered a broken jaw in a shock split points decision loss to Ken Norton over 12 rounds in San Diego. Ali won rematch in another controversial split decision. Controversy finds that guy. 73, Philadelphia Flyers scored an NHL record-tying 8 goals from an astounding 60 shots in the second period of a 10-2 win over New York Islanders. Nice. 74, U.S. golfer Lee Trevino went bogey-free for full 4 rounds as he won the Greater New Orleans Open by 8 strokes from Bobby Cole and Ben Crenshaw. So, bogey-free. It's impressive.
Do you know what a bogey is?
It doesn't sound good. So.
Well, you know what par is?
Yes.
Par is, whatever they deem the hole, you should make it in.
Oh, bogey is a plus.
No, bogey is 1 over. It's a negative.
Oh, okay.
Birdie is under.
So he stayed at par or under.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. 76, the Cleveland Cavaliers defeated the Jazz 110-101 in New Orleans to clinch the club's first ever NBA playoff berth. Nice. New Jersey court ruled Karen Ann Quinlan may be disconnected from respirator. So it's one of these things, like a brain dead person on something, or I don't know. 79, Montreal Canadiens defeated visiting Pittsburgh Penguins 5-3 to become just the second team in NHL history to win 50 or more games for 4 straight years. I wonder who the first one was, though. And speaking of wonderings, do we have any comments? Nope and nope. All right, what else do we got here? 79, the last British soldier left the Maltese Islands. Malta declared its Freedom Day. Jum il Halcyon. All right. The number one thing, as I've said, that Britain ever gave to the entire world was Independence Days. 1980, almost concurrent heavyweight boxing championship fights. Larry Holmes TKOs Leroy Jones in 8 for WBC title in Las Vegas, Nevada, while Mike Weaver knocks out John Tate in 15 for WBA belt in Knoxville, Tennessee. Dang. I wonder if those two were on pay-per-views and all that stuff. If you can, watch one fight then watch another. Or 1980?
Yeah, they may have had pay-per-view then.
Yeah. 1980 as well, the Chicago, Rock Island, and Pacific Railroad operated its final train after being ordered to liquidate its assets due to bankruptcy and debt owed to creditors. We also have U.S. President Jimmy Carter deregulated the banking industry. That doesn't sound good. 82, U.S. rock group the Doobie Brothers split up.
Oh, yeah.
Arcas tanker at Mont La spilt 1.47 million gallons of oil. Trying to see if that was Mons, Louisiana, or if just Mont La, if that was the name of the thing. Sorry about that. I had to sneeze. Oh yeah, when you gotta sneeze, 1982, NBA and Players Association reached a 4-year agreement that included a 53% revenue sharing plan, in return for minimum and maximum payrolls, first of its kind in team sports. 83, Monty Python's The Meaning of Life was released in the U.S. All right. We also have Popayan earthquake, 5.5 MW depth in Colombia, killed 267 people, injuring some 7,500. Mike Bossy in 1984 became the first player in NHL history to record 7 straight 50-goal seasons. Scored 50th and 51st of the year in a record 3-1 New York Islanders win in Washington. Nice. And pardon me, but I have got to take care of something. So I do not need a microphone. What else do we got here? 1985, 15th Easter Seal Telethon, raised $27,400,000. 86, 6 metropolitan county councils were abolished in England. I wonder why. County
councils?
Yeah, metropolitan county councils. So, AO's time, 1988. 1 year after my time, actually. Last East Limburg coal mine closed in Ghent, Belgium. Oh, they're closing out coal mines now. We also have the New York Islanders celebrating defenseman Dennis Potvins 1,000 points in 1,000 NHL games at Tribute Night at Nassau Coliseum. 1989, Donald Trump purchased Eastern's Northeast Shuttle. What is that? Eastern's Northeast Shuttle? Like a space shuttle? Trump shuttle. Oh, airplane. Okay. No, it was an airline. Alright. Space shuttle? Look that up. Airline. 1990 as well. 20-year-old Quebec Nordiques center Joe Sakic scored a goal in a 3-2 loss in Hartford to become the youngest player in NHL history to score 100 points in a season. At 20. Impressive. 1990 as well. Major riots occurred in London and other British towns in protest against the new community charge poll tax laws. Approximately 200,000 protesters took to the streets of London to protest the newly introduced poll tax. So that basically you're getting taxed for the right to vote, which that's bullshit.
Yeah.
1991, Albania offered its first multi-party election in 50 years. And a former Partridge Family star, Danny Bonaduce, attacked a transvestite prostitute in Phoenix, Arizona. Sounds like he probably thought like he was a she and got mad, So
probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably picked him up or something and got surprised.
Yeah. 91, Georgia and SSR voted on whether to remain in the Soviet Union. Apparently, nearly 99% of the voters supported the country's independence from the Soviet Union. That's not surprising. 91, Soviet rep of Georgia endorsed independence. Warsaw Pact dissolved. The Warsaw Pact formally disbanded. We were talking about all this.
Yeah, we were.
It's telling me to image search this, so I'm going to do so. Let's see here. Image search. Click this and bigger that. Oh, yeah. So this just shows me... Oh, here we go. The Warsaw Pact aims were to protect against a possible attack by the USA or its NATO allies. So so you're right. Mm-hmm. It was something for opposed to NATO, counter NATO. Yeah. Agree to assist a member if attacked. Strengthen relations between countries in the East. The members were the Eastern Bloc countries: Soviet Union, Poland, Czechoslovakia, Hungary, Romania, Bulgaria, Albany, and East Germany. Not Albany, Albania.
Of course, as it broke down, that had to break up.
Yeah.
Poland was out. They were looking to the west.
Yep.
Everything. So, yeah.
All right, so now I have no basis as to why NATO needs to break up, because they don't need to. That's, because we are still threatened, by Russia and China and North Korea,
Well, I think it's...
Saudi Arabia.
It's long...
Iran.
long since... run its purpose.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe it has, maybe it hasn't. 92, UN Security Council voted to ban flights and arms sales to Libya. And we had the Treaty of Federation was signed in Moscow. I wonder what that entails, but we got to keep going here. We're at 27 out of 34 pages. We're chewing through this. The USS Missouri, the last active United States Navy battleship, was decommissioned in Long Beach, California. Yeah. Now, is that the Iowa out there? Or the Missouri that we went to? It's out in L.A., right?
Iowa.
I believe it was. So.
Yeah, no, it's in Long Beach.
Yeah. Long Beach? I thought it was in the port of L.A. Because the Queen Mary's in Long Beach.
Oh, you're right. Okay. So where did we go?
We went to the port of L.A.
Okay.
At least I thought it was.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
Yeah, because it's all the shipping areas, all the container ships.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. 93, the Macau Basic Law was adopted by the 8th National People's Congress of China to take effect December 20th, 99. Reassumption by China of the China of the exercise of sovereignty over Macau. 94, actor James Ferrantino pled no contest to stalking ex-girlfriend Tina Sinatra. That's creepy. 94, Chicago White Sox assigned former NBA superstar Michael Jordan to the Birmingham Barons of Class AA Southern League, returning to the NBA after one season.
Yeah.
The journal Nature reported the finding in Ethiopia of the first complete Australopithecus afarensis skull. I can't pronounce these Latin names. But this skull here.
Yeah.
So... We also have 94, walkway from Cleveland's Tower City to Jacobs Field officially opened. So I guess just like, from one building to the...
Jacobs Field is a football stadium or baseball stadium or something?
I don't know. It's some kind of stadium. But it's a walkway from a building to the stadium. So I only put that in there because it's like, why is this in here? I'm going to read it. 95, federal judge Sonia Sotomayor of U.S. District Court in New York City issued an injunction against Major League Baseball owners in move that effectively ended the 232-day strike.
She's now on the Supreme Court.
95, Selena was murdered by her fan club president Yolanda Saldivar at a Days Inn in Corpus Christi, Texas. Yikes. And don't meet your fans. 96, first time in MLB history, the regular season opened in March with Seattle Mariners defeating Chicago White Sox 3-2 in 12 innings at the Kingdom in Seattle. 96 as well, Radio Canada International's final shortwave broadcast. Okay. And 97, West Indies cricketers won third test at Bridgetown, Barbados by 38 runs after setting India a modest 120-run target. Tourist dismissed for 81 in Brand Lara's debut as Windies captain. Okay. 98, expansion clubs Tampa Bay and Arizona both suffered bad losses in their MLB debuts. Devil Rays lost 11-6 to the Detroit Tigers, and the Diamondbacks fell 9-2 to the Colorado Rockies. Yikes. Milwaukee became the first team since the inception of the American League in 1901 to switch MLB leagues. Brewers lost first NL game 2-1 to the Braves in Atlanta. So they went from the A League to the National League.
America, yeah.
Yeah.
Now here's the funny thing. Milwaukee used to be the Brewers, Milwaukee Brewers, and they moved to Atlanta. No. It was the Milwaukee Braves.
Oh.
Back in the day, and when they got a new franchise, then they became the Milwaukee Brewers. But the Milwaukee Braves moved to Atlanta.
All right.
Am I making sense?
Kinda.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
No, I'm trying to keep up with you, but I'm also swarming in the head. 9 minutes. 1998, Netscape.
Go 9 minutes.
Yeah. Netscape released Mozilla source code under an open source license, and I'm going to image search this. Mozilla Firefox. I used to use that, as my primary browser. Now I use Brave. So let's see here. Yeah. Netscape released its web browser as free software in 98. Mozilla Project became major player. 2003, the Mozilla Foundation was formed. Firefox web browser and Thunderbird email client gained serious popularity. Significant market share, second only to Microsoft's embedded equivalents like Internet Explorer or Edge now. So and that's a brief history of Netscape, Mozilla, and Firefox. Everything it's open source. People can go in and make it better and all that stuff. It's for the people, by the people type of thing. I love stuff like that. 1999, 10 Things I Hate About You, a modern adaptation of of Shakespeare's The Taming of the Shrew, starring Julia Stiles and Heath Ledger, was released. What an awful name for a product. 2001, German brothers Michael and Ralf Schumacher became the first siblings to share front row of the grid in a Formula One World Championship event, qualify first and second respectively for Brazilian Grand Prix in Sao Paulo.
Yeah.
2002 as well. Andre Agassi won his 700th career match and captured his second straight Key Biscayne title with a 6-3, 6-3, 3-6, 6-4 win over Roger Federer at the NASDAQ 100 Open in Florida. Okay, we're going to discover our planet here. 2003, Cincinnati Reds opened their new home, the Great American Ballpark, with a 10-1 loss to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Former President George H.W. Bush threw the first ceremonial pitch. Yeah. Oh. Actually, was that the one with him in the wheelchair? Doing that? Let me look this up here.
I don't recall a wheelchair.
There's a video of him of George H.W. Bush in a wheelchair. Hold on a second. George H.W. Bush, 2003, first pitch. There we go. I guess not. Nope. There he is. Well, that's Bush. Former President George H.W. So that's the father. Here it is. This is what I'm talking about. This is 2017.
Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are joined by some very special.
Let's see here. Where is it? Was it here? Right here. Yeah.
The president, 41, has the ceremonial first pitch ball and would like to, at this time...
This is when the son throws it and everything. But it became a meme. He's just sitting there and then holds up the ball. Like it became a meme or something. So, anyway, what else do we got here? 2004 in Fallujah, Iraq, 4 U.S. Private military contractors working for Blackwater, USA, were killed and their bodies mutilated after being ambushed. Fallujah, absolute disaster. With a 12-1 defeat of the Tampa Bay Devil Rays in Tokyo, New York Yankees starter Kevin Brown became only the second pitcher in MLB history to have beaten all 30 teams. I wonder who was the first. The dwarf planet Make, what a weird name, was discovered by a team led by astronomer Michael E. Brown at the Palomar Observatory. It's telling me to image search this, so I'm going to do that really quick. I do not want Rumble. I want Ecosia, and I want to look that up. Images. Oh yeah, it wanted me to show like various other dwarf planets and everything.
Make.
Yeah, Make, Eris, Ahamua, and Eris has its own little moon, Desomnia. These are not to scale with each other, like the actual size. Here's a more telling image here. Make is 889 miles in diameter. Eris is 1445. So Eris is bigger. But it's, and these are all dwarf planets, and one of these is bigger than Pluto. I just don't know which one it is. 2007 in Sydney, Australia, 2.2 million people took part in the first Earth Hour. What? What the hell does that even mean? I'm going to do a surface level scratch of that really quick. I know we have 4 minutes left, but milestones over the years, Earth Hour. Okay. The world's first Earth Hour in Sydney, Australia. Okay, so if anybody wants to know, you know what, there's more stuff here. So I'm going to add these in the underbar. Earth Hour. I'm going to put that one there. And then this other one here. Earth Hour 2. So, okay. So if you want to read more about the Earth Hour, you'll check the underbar there. 2008, Aloha Airlines, a bankrupt airline, permanently ended passenger service. So I guess you can say aloha to them as well.
Yeah,
it means hello, goodbye. 2016, NASA astronaut Scott Kelly and Roscosmos cosmonaut Mikhail Korylenko will return to Earth after a year-long mission at the ISS, the International Space Station, a year up in the air. 2018 started the 2018 Armenian Revolution. And 1 year after that, we have Elton John join George Clooney's call to boycott hotels owned by the Sultan of Brunei after Brunei's plans new anti-gay laws to make homosexual intercourse punishable by death. Yikes. 2019, rapper and activist Nipsey Hussle was fatally shot outside his clothing store in Los Angeles. I heard about this. So, 2020, British pensioner Robert Wington became the world's oldest man at 112 years. You have a record to break.
The goal's been set, although it's probably been passed already.
Yeah. 2021, French President Emmanuel Macron announced a new pandemic lockdown, closing schools for 3 weeks with new national restrictions. What a punchable face he has. We also have New York State legalized recreational use of marijuana and legislation signed by Governor Andrew Cuomo. Sales not legal for 18 months. Well, 2021, Paul Simon sold his entire songwriting catalog of over 400 songs to Sony Music Publishing for an undisclosed sum. That's quite a bit of songs right there.
I bet you got quite a bit of money, too.
Maybe. Brandon overturned Trump's restrictions on transgender people serving the armed forces. I mean, like, if they want to serve, let them serve. At the same time, I can understand the hesitation because if you're, well, most transitions are going one way. There's very rare exceptions where it's a woman is transitioning into a man. I've very seldomly heard of it.
Oh, I think they do.
I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying it's like for every one woman transitioning into a male, there's like 1,000 males transitioning into a female.
I have no idea.
The ratio's not that skewed, but it's not a 1-to-1. But like, the confusion I'm referring to here, the hesitation is if it's a woman transitioning into a male, and then she you put them in, with like all the stuff, for the male troops, she's not going to make it.
Yeah.
Like they do have. Well, do they have separate male-female boot camps? I don't know.
It's all male as far as I know. I don't know what they have for women.
I mean, women serving, you have to do boot camp. I mean, if you're going to serve, you have to do boot camp no matter what.
Well, they're not in with the men, I'll tell you that.
Because you have to be broken down to be part of the unit, you know? That's what the whole purpose of boot camp is.
In the Navy, they're called the waves.
Ah.
And then the Army, I forget what they're called, something else. I don't think there's a woman's Marine. Maybe there is.
I don't know. 2021, Brandon unveiled the American Jobs Plan, one of the largest infrastructure plans in U.S. history, worth $2 trillion. And just absolutely nothing came of it. 2022, first truly complete sequence of a human genome was published by Telemetry to Telemetry, T2T Consortium, after breakthroughs in technology previously just over 90% coded. Brandon also announced he will release 1 million barrels of oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve for 6 months to, quote, drive down prices, end quote. Despite the amount being so small, nothing will change. You know, he just wanted to hurt the country. You know, doing everything he could to hurt this nation, to hurt the world. 2023, large storm system crossed the mid-U.S. from Mississippi and Alabama to Illinois and Wisconsin, unleashing numerous tornadoes and leaving at least 32 dead. So a historic tornado outbreak occurred in the U.S. Midwest and the South. 2 more articles here. 2025, France's far-right leader, Marine Le Pen, was found guilty of embezzlement of EU funds, barring her from running for office for 5 years. That sounds like she was framed. Because, you know, far-right, you know, while everything's left, it sounds like they bullshit. And we have SpaceX mission Fram-2 launched 4 people aboard a Falcon 9 rocket, becoming the first crewed spaceflight to enter a polar retrograde orbit. What retrograde? Going the other way? I don't know. Oh. Anyway, that shall conclude the show. Once again, please check the underbar in the description below for any links that you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things on the Coalition. A lot of history has and continues to be made on a daily basis, and we brought you the majority actually today, because there's a lot of, like, you know, most of the stuff I covered, if not all of them, was interesting, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you know, I'm not just, you know, feeling so. I'd say today we are 70 to 80%, maybe higher, of everything between 2 sources.
Wow.
So yeah, I marked a lot, but it still isn't everything. So please, you know, continue your path of self-education, follow our links, find your own, and be all the wiser. You know, until next time, you know, we stream at 5 p.m. Pacific time every day, you know, this show. And for all of you and all of us, I am Xander.
Golden Loon.
And UVRU. Until you catch us next time, you know, which other than 5 p.m., if you're in other time zones, it's 6 Mountain, 7 Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. Don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles! Alright, there's a thing, there's a thing.